Hello everyone. In this video, I'll be covering one of the Azure Data Factory interview question that is being asked in Accenture interview recently. Given as a CSV files, so we have a multiple CSV files available in the source side. We need to copy the data available in the CSV files to a Azure SQL Database tables, and the destination data should not have any duplicate records. The CSV files may contain a duplicate data, but by the time we copy the data to a Azure SQL Database table, we should not have any duplicate records in the SQL Database destination table. So let's look into data, how the data look like, and then we'll talk about how to build a scenario. For this scenario, I'm considering a Blob Storage account as my source system, which contains a multiple files. So now I'm having here two files, sales1 file and sales2 file. Now if I open a sales file and see how the data look like. Now the sales file contains details like product ID, sales amount, and the respective date. Now we have details like 101, 102, 103. These are the product ID and their respective sales amount along with the date available here. Now I'm having one more sales file available here. So this sales file may contain a different sales amount, but we may also have some duplicate records in the second file also. So if we compare those two files, and there will be some data available, duplicate data available in both the files. Now if I open a sales2 file here, now if you see the sales2 file, we are having a product ID 102, 103, 104, 105. 103 information is already available in the sales1 file. Now, if I try to copy all the data which is available in both the files, so duplicate data will be inserted. So we need to make sure we should not have any duplicate data inserted into a destination table. These are my source files. Okay. Similarly, we may have a n number of files here. The approach we're building, it will work for n number of files. Okay. Now, so this is about my source system. And similarly, if I talk about a destination, I'm using a Azure SQL database as my destination. Now, if you look into a table, select star from sales table, I'm having a sales tables available here. In this sales table, there is no data currently. So whatever data coming from source, that is from the files, we need to copy that data to this SQL database table without any duplicate records. Okay. So now how we can build a scenario, we'll be covering that. Okay. So let's open Azure Data Factory and start building a pipeline for this. So let me create a new pipeline. Okay, so if you want to give a name, you can give a name to the pipeline. So I'm going with the same pipeline name. So to start with, we have a multiple files available. If it is a single file in the source side, simply we can use a copy activity to copy the data to a destination table. But here we have multiple files available in our source system. So we have two files here. So there is a multiple files. So to handle a multiple files, maybe I will start using with a GetMetadata activity. So this GetMetadata activity will read all the files as a child items. Now we can iterate the file one by one and give to the copy activity. Okay. So to start with, we need to create a data set in the GetMetadata activity. Currently, I don't have any data sets available. So let's get a new data set here. Our source here is a blob storage. That is the place where the multiple files are available. So let's select the blob storage. Okay, so in my source set, I'm having a CSV files. So we can select a CSV format here, and we need to give a dataset name. Maybe I will give this dataset name as a dataset for metadata. Okay, link service for a source blob storage is already I have created it. So let's select the same link service, and we need to choose the path. Now, if you have seen here blob storage account, I'm having a container sales. Inside the sales container, I'm having a two files. So now if I click on sales, you can see here those two files you can see here as well. Okay. But we need to read the multiple files. So that is the reason I'll be selecting only the root folder sales and create a data set. So once the data set is created, now we need to select a field list as a child item. So it will give the metadata information as a child items. So Sales folder name, that is our parent folder. Inside the files we have, there is a child items. Now if I click on debug here, we can see whether it is able to read the files or not from the GetMetadata activity output. Okay, so if we check the output, those are the only two files available in our source set. Now we can see both the files are available here. So once the files are available, we can give these files to a copy activity, but those are like multiple files. We need to give one by one file to the copy activity. For that purpose, I will be using here for each activity for iterating the file one by one. Okay. So on successful of GetMetadata activity, we are going to run for each activity. So we'll be passing GetMetadata to output to the for each activity. For each activity will help us to iterate one by one. Okay. So we have two options here, sequence or batch count. So if you want to give the files in a batch, you can go with the batch count. Or if you want to give the files one by one in a sequential order, we can select a sequential. For now, I'm selecting sequential, and I will be giving a GetMetadata activity output here to the for each activity. So to do that, click on add dynamic content. Okay. From GetMetadata activity, I need a child items. GetMetadata activity output dot child items. So that one by one file will come and will go inside for each activity. Inside we'll be using a copy activity. So one by one from for each activity will come to the copy activity. From copy activity will give the files to a destination. Okay. So to give the for each information to the copy activity, we need a source data set here. Okay. So as of now, only one data set is created. That is for GetMetadata to read a child items. But we need a one more data set here for our source. So let's click on creating a new data set. So source is a blob storage again, which contains a CSV file. Okay. So this data set name, maybe I'll be giving a data set for source to give it to the copy source. The source will be a blob storage itself. And here also we'll be selecting a sales only. Now if I click on OK, I can see sales is available here. And the file names will be coming here from a for each activity. Okay. So this we need to make it as a dynamic. We'll be creating a dataset parameters. Click on OK. Dataset for source is created. In order to give the for each information to the copy activity, we need to create a parameters. So let's open a source dataset that we have created, and let's get a parameters here. Click on parameters tab, and let's get a new parameter here. Okay, so I have created a dataset parameter to get all the files, multiple files. So we'll go back to connection and we'll call here the parameter that we have created. Okay. So in that way, we have created a parameter and we're calling the parameter here. Now, if you go back to pipeline, now it is expecting a value here. So this is the value which is coming from for each. We need to give here. All the files one by one will come here. So we click on this add dynamic content and click on item. This is the for each item. Now for each item gives two things, file name and file type, both the things. From that we need only file name. So I can give here item.name. Okay. So in this way, one by one file will come from for each to the copy activity, which is ready in the source side. Now if we give a sync data set, the destination to the destination, the data will be copied. Okay. Now sync data set is also required data set. So let's get a new data set. Now what is my sync? My sync is a Azure SQL Database, which contains a sales table that is empty right now. To this table, we need to copy the data. So source is Azure SQL Database. So let's select Azure SQL Database here. Click on OK. Maybe this dataset name I will be giving as a dataset for sync. And link to service I have already created for Azure SQL Database. So let's select the same link to service. Now, whenever we select a link to service, it allows to access all the tables inside that database. As of now, we currently have only one table. So the same table only we need to copy the data. So let's select the table and click on OK. Now what it do here? all the files we have read through GetMetadata activity. The file information is going to ForEach. Now from ForEach, the information is coming to copy data source. So copy data source, try to copy all the data available inside both the files and will give to the sync table. But one thing we need to remember here is we should not maintain duplicates. Okay. So if you don't want to have a duplicates, we can use upsert option. So upsert is nothing but a insert plus update. It will check for a new values, and if any value is already available, so that record is, if any record is already available, it will ignore that record and it will have only unique records. And also if any updated value is coming, it will check for the updated value and it will update in the particular record. So inserting and ignoring the duplicates and updating the values in the sync side, three things can be performed by using upsert. For in case if I'm not using upsert option, I'm going with right behavior insert itself, what will happen? All the records coming from a source side, from the multiple tables, from the multiple files, it will copy to a destination. Okay, so let's try with the insert first, then we'll try with the upsert as well. We'll go back to pipeline, click on validate. Okay, no errors found. Click on debug to run this pipeline. Now, if you see the status of a pipeline, it got succeeded. Let's go to destination table and see how the data is looking like. So let's run this query, select star from sales. Now I can see here we have ID 101, 102, 103. I can see two times. Okay, so 103 ID is from file 1, the other 101 ID is from file 2. So which means we are getting a duplicate data. So after getting all the information from multiple files, if there is any duplicate data available from multiple files, that data also we can see here. So to avoid the duplicates on the fly itself, what we can do, inside a copy activity, right? In copy activity, we can go with the upsert option. Okay. So when you are selecting upsert option, we also need to select a key column. So based on which column we want to perform this row matching from source to sync, we need to select a key column as well. So let's select a key column here. Maybe I will be selecting a key column as a PID. So based on a PID, I just want to check whether if we're getting a same ID or not. Okay. So that I'm selecting here. And now we'll run this pipeline one more time to see if we're getting duplicate records or not by using upsert. Okay. So there is no errors found. Before I debug, maybe what I will do is I'll go back to database. Maybe I will drop this table. I will delete the data from the table, not dropping. Okay, so I will be deleting all the data from sales cell. We'll make the sales table as empty. So let's run this one. Okay, so data has deleted now. Now if I click on select star from tables, now I can see there is no data in our sales table. So let's try running this by using upsert option. We will get to know whether we are getting a duplicates or not. Now you can see the pipeline status is succeeded. Let's go to database now and check the output. Now you can see we have product ID 101, 102, 103 and 104, 105. So which means we have not received any duplicate record now. So 103 is available 2 times, but we are getting only 1 time. So in this way, by using a GetMetadata activity, we can read all the multiple files data, all the multiple files information we can read. That information we can give through to the copy activity through for each activity. While giving it to the sync, we can select a write behavior option. If you select insert, all the data will be inserted. If you select upsert, it will check for new records or updated records or any repeating records are coming. So based on that, it will insert the data into destination. That's it for this video. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more such kind of interview questions.